welcome back. We are going to jump into this week's video, starting off with this delicious turkey noodle soup. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. You're going to want to remember this recipe for your Thanksgiving leftovers. We have all kinds of good stuff in this video. I hope you stay tuned to the end and get some good inspiration. So here's the leftover turkey that I'm starting with. It's about 2-ish cups or so, maybe a little more, and a little bit of broth. I did a turkey breast in my crock pot for our church's Thanksgiving fellowship meal a couple of weeks ago, and this is the turkey that I had left over. So into a small kettle here, I put just a little bit of butter, and I'm going to saute up some celery and some onion to get this thing started. After I got these softened up just a little bit, I'm going to add in my leftover turkey. I just kind of went through and chopped it down into a little bit smaller pieces. I'm just going to get this all in the pot. Not following a recipe for this. I'm making this with my heart. I knew what I wanted. I knew what sounded good. I knew what ingredients I had. So I'm just pulling this together, and I'm sure you could do just the same. It's just a traditional, no frills turkey noodle soup. And what sounded so good about this soup was just some rich, warm broth. I was a little under the weather this day. Unfortunately, our family kind of got hit by the stomach bug, and I just thought some warm broth sounded so good. So I'm just using the dry bouillon powder, and I just put in about a tablespoon in here. And of course, with something like this, go less as opposed to more. You can always add more, and so that was about the right amount. Got that stirred in there for some rich broth, and then I had a can of carrots, and so I drained off the liquid and poured that in. Is it a little bit too many carrots for this soup? Maybe, but I thought all those carrots sounded fabulous, and honestly, I'm starting with this recipe today because this was the best thing that we had all week. It was so good, so I thought I would start off this video with my favorite. Here I have got about, oh goodness, a fourth a bag of egg noodles. It's just what I had left in the bag, and I'd say maybe a couple cups is what that was, and I just poured that in. Look how beautiful this looks. And then I just let this cook per the package instructions for the noodles. It does not take long. Off camera, I added in pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and some parsley. This came together very quickly, and I cannot say enough about how just rich and delicious and comforting this was, especially when I wasn't feeling very good. This was so delicious. So keep your Thanksgiving leftover turkey. Of course, you can do 100 things with it, but this one comes together quick. It's comforting and delicious. I would say when I have some Thanksgiving turkey left over here in just a few days, this is going back on the menu again. All right, this next dinner that we had is a new recipe that I am trying out. It's called Cheesy Bacon Barbecue Chicken Bake. Cheesy Bacon Barbecue Chicken Bake. I wanted barbecue chicken, and I always make my barbecue chicken the same way. And for some reason, I just thought, I wonder if there's some sort of recipe or so, a little looking on Pinterest, you can find just about anything. So where I variated from the recipe, they don't call for the step that I'm doing right now. I love when I make barbecue chicken to flour and fry my chicken as if I'm just making fried chicken, and then put the barbecue on it and bake it. It is so good that way. I've been making it that way for years. So this is an extra added step that I did. So I had a package of chicken breast tenderloins. I just put a little bit of the Kinder's caramelized onion butter seasoning and some pepper and some flour. I put a very light coat, and I'm frying that up in some bacon grease actually. And you talk about flavor. This was very flavorful just at this step, so flavorful. Now for a side, I'm doing some Brussels sprouts, so I just have those, put some of that same Kinder seasoning, a little bit more bacon fat in this, kind of stirred it around, and I'm just going to roast these in the oven. I like to use my oven, if it's going to be up and running, I'm going to use my oven to do as much in there as I can. The recipe called to lay down a bed of sliced onion on the bottom. That's what your chicken is going to go on top of. So I just sliced up some onion here and put that all down. Now, the recipe, of course, did not call for the step of frying the chicken. So the recipe said to just put the chicken tenders or the chicken breast, whatever you have, on top of the onion raw and then follow their cook time. Since I had already cooked my chicken some, I just reduced my cook time as a precaution, to not overcook the chicken. I didn't want to dry it out. So I went in with a little barbecue sauce on top of the onion so the chicken would have some on the bottom. Just going to layer the chicken on and put more barbecue sauce on the top. I'm just finishing up this bottle of the Sweet Baby Ray's. I think this is the hickory brown sugar. And then I pulled out this one. I love this, the Kinder's Honey Hot. And that was my other barbecue that I finished this off with. And now this is where it takes a turn and gets really interesting and delicious. The topping that goes on this, I'm going to show you that next. First, Henry wants to say hi.
Meow. What's up? Hello. I haven't seen you guys in a good while. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. And make sure to like and subscribe at the very end. And make sure that you will watch the entire thing, and I'll be in for a little bit more. Back to the video. Viewers are missing out of me grating cheese. Totally fun stuff to do. Yeah. It's just a big long strip of cheese on my side. We're destroying the cheese.
Yeah, almost there. Yep. Look at that big old plate of cheese.
I just want a couple shreds. Can I just have a pinch?
Yeah, sure. Just show your viewers while you're eating it. What do you think? Good stuff? Okay.
Okay, so off camera, I used one whole package of the real bacon pieces. I sauteed those in the drippings that was left from the chicken. I heard that little trick that it would take bagged real bacon pieces and just take them to another level like they were, freshly fried bacon. So I highly recommend that. It's the first time I ever did it. It was really, really good. And so you saw Henry grating up the cheese there, covered it with cheese, covered it with bacon, and then I put foil on it and baked it in the oven. We'll have the recipe linked below. You've got to try this one. This is so good. It's just a little spin on barbecue chicken. Delicious. My Brussels sprouts turned out great, and I also used my oven to make some baked potatoes. So we just served those with butter and sour cream. This meal hit the spot. I was wanting baked potato and I was wanting barbecue chicken. So this was everything that I was hungry for. It was really good. I definitely recommend trying this recipe. The following day, I was in Walmart and I was really hoping they would have some pizza dough, and they did. So I bought this Pizza Buddy pizza dough. First time to try it. I have not been able to find the pizza dough like that at Aldi for a long time now. So I was happy to find this one at Walmart for a good price. So I picked this up and just followed the package directions for it. I am just putting some olive oil on there, and I'm going to stick this in the oven. I don't think the package directions included this, but I like to pre-bake my pizza dough for just a little bit before I put the toppings on, and I didn't prick it, and so we've got all these little humps here, so I'm just kind of letting the air out of some of those. But I like to put the olive oil, pre-bake it, and I put some garlic powder on there just for some flavor. So I knew that day when I was at Walmart, if I could find this, I would use the leftover barbecue chicken and make a barbecue chicken pizza. So that's what I'm doing. I pulled yet another barbecue out of the fridge. I don't know about you guys, but we tend to have a lot of barbecue sauces in our fridge, and that is due to my husband James. He loves to try different ones, and we usually have several open. So I was so glad to finish off several bottles of barbecue sauce this week. That was nice. They just each had a little bit in them, and I was able to use them up. So after I bake this for just a couple minutes, I'm going in with the Vidalia onion barbecue sauce, putting this down as my base to build this barbecue chicken pizza on. So let's get moving on this one. This is really good. For the toppings, I am going in with some red onion. I'm also going to use some of that cheese that Henry grated up for me yesterday. It was either a cheddar or an extra sharp cheddar, one or the other. I am going to use some slices of mozzarella, and I'm going to use some cilantro. And all of these together work together for a really, really delicious flavored pizza. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And I remembered before I stuck it in the oven, I had just a few pickled jalapenos in the bottom of the jar, so I tossed those on too and just put this in to bake. If you've been around here long, you know we love a homemade pizza, and this one was a delicious treat. We'd been wanting pizza for a while, and barbecue pizza was just a little added treat this week since we had that barbecue chicken left over. So it was just a win-win. Used up some leftovers and had a pizza, which we were kind of wanting anyway. So I love making a pizza at home. You can just customize it however you want it. It's quick, and one of our favorite foods, that's for sure. And the last thing I'm going to show you, I used these Southern style breaded chicken breast fillets, did 2 of them in my air fryer. I used this fresh sliced mozzarella cheese to top them, and we had some really quick and easy chicken Parmesan. So like I said, air fryer for the chicken, followed the package directions. Once it was done, I just put some pasta sauce on the top. I had about a half a jar that needed to be used up anyway. Once I kind of got those coated, I put those back in the air fryer. Honestly, it was probably less than a minute just to get that pasta sauce warmed through, and then I topped it with this mozzarella cheese. This melted so nicely over the chicken. I did put just a little sprinkle of Italian seasoning before I put that in the air fryer. And again, didn't take long at all to get this cheese melted. Meanwhile, back here on the stove, I just cooked up some angel hair pasta, got that all drained off. This is just about as simple a meal as you can get, and I really loved that about it. I had, like I said, not quite a whole jar of this pasta sauce that needed to be used. Put a little water in there to get all of it out, and same story with this pizza sauce. I had a little bit of the pizza sauce that needed to be used, and I don't know about you guys, but I really get joy out of emptying up things in my fridge that need to be emptied up and moved out. I love that. I am a finisher, so I enjoy finishing things up. So I finished off the pasta sauce and the pizza sauce, and just had this little pot of spaghetti here to go along with our chicken Parmesan. This meal was so quick and delicious. We loved it, and I did show you quite a few chicken recipes this week, the turkey noodle soup, of course, but James is not the biggest fan of chicken in general. He likes it okay, but it's just not his first choice. And this one here, he really, really loved. He said this is a really yummy meal. So I was glad about that. He liked everything that we had this week, but this one he really enjoyed. So here it is, all plated up and put together, just some Parmesan cheese on top. And I'm definitely going to incorporate this more often into our dinners. We loved it, and like I said, you can't ever go wrong with something that you can get on the table quick and easy. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some inspiration. I am so glad you spent some time with me here. I hope it was well spent on your end, and I will see you the next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.